Welcome along. You've tuned in today. We're doing our big Euro Clash Cup wrap-up.
That's right.
But we're not just going to rattle off scores. No, we're peeling back the layers, looking at the fascinating cultural stuff behind this whole competition.
Exactly.
So here's the mission for you today. First up, we'll dissect those recent England versus Wales clash results. Hot off the press. Oh, well, almost.
Straight from the judges panel, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay. And then part two, we pull back the curtain on Welsh hip-hop. How did these artists even get here? It's kind of an underdog story, really.
It is, and we've got some great background. The results info, like you said, it's direct from the panel, no spin there. And then we've done a lot of digging into the history, the resurgence of Welsh hip-hop. Some surprising stuff in there.
Ooh, sounds intriguing. Okay, so whether you follow every single rap battle or you're just curious about how, local culture pops onto the global stage, get ready. We're diving into competitive rap and a bit of a cultural revival.
It's going to be good.
Right then. Let's jump straight in. Group C, England, Wales. Euro Clash Cup.
Oh, the tension. Seriously, it was pretty intense, wasn't it?
Definitely felt that way.
And I've got the breakdown right here from the judges. Okay, Clash 1, Maddy V for England with Barz.
No, we can't get the habit. No, we can't get the habit. No, we can't get the habit. Can't get the habit with the drum and bass addicts. We can't get the habit. No, we can't get the habit. No, we can't get the habit. Can't get the habit with the drum and bass addicts.
I'm catching fire like I'm covered in gasoline. My indirects are brutal, ripping you up like Wolverine. I know that I look innocent, it's hard for you to believe. I'm living the dream, I'm taking the scene, I couldn't believe in what I achieved. Listen to me, you'll get facts, not fiction. Didn't make up stories, cause that's not in my description. I'm an up-and-comer, last summer's where it started. People said I had potential to become an artist. I really couldn't see it, the vision that they're seeing. The one where I could quit my job and do this for a living. They're saying that I'm bringing it, but truth is that I'm winging it. If clever content was erased, then lyrically I'm winning it. Technical material, I'm a lyrical miracle. I murdered every set because my killing is serial. Technical material, I'm a lyrical miracle. And I murdered every set because my killing is serial.
Yeah, it's true, I confess, I'm a drum and bass addict. Been hooked from a youth, and I won't kick the habit. I'm addicted to the drums, I'm addicted to the bass, I'm addicted to the vibes, I'm addicted to the race. I'm a drum and bass junkie, I don't wanna kick it, I don't want no help.
Going up against Murkage from Wales with Welsh Boy.
I'm rolling up that laid, roll up and get laid. I know it's not a lay, but we got mosh pits in a crate. Welsh boy and I'm prayed, famous in my tain. I'm smoking on the clay, cause it picks me up when I'm dane. I swear I'm rolling up that laid, roll up and get laid. I know it's not a lay, but we got mosh pits in a crate. Welsh boy and I'm prayed, famous in my tain. I'm smoking on the clay, cause it picks me up when I'm dane. I swear I'm rolling, smoking, roll up and get high. Smoke weed till I die, or truth don't need to lie. Go Barcelona, Tenerife, but still ain't been Dubai. So yeah, let's go tonight, pack your bags, let's book a flight. Time to be living, not thinking of cash, keep thinking of living is gone in a flash. And too many man with a roll with a mash, and up in a prison or stuck in the past. I'm smoking this Cali, I'm puffing this gas, taking two drags and I'm puffing, I pass. In a new way class, so watch when you're flicking your ash. I'm rolling up that laid, roll up and get laid. I know it's not a lay, but we got mosh pits in a crate. Welsh boy and I'm prayed, famous in my tain. Smoking on the clay, cause it picks me up when I'm dane. I swear I'm rolling up that laid, roll up and get laid. I know it's not a lay, but we got mosh pits in a crate. Welsh boy and I'm prayed, famous in my tain. Smoking on the clay, cause it picks me up when I'm dane. Borada, sit OT, in the trap we triple P. Every week my name gets big.
A solid matchup on paper.
Totally. And guess what? A draw.
Wow, okay.
Right. Straight out the gate, a tie. Talk about setting the stage, the drama. You could feel it.
Kick things off with some real suspense then.
It really did. Then Clash 2 rolls around. Leanne Louise for England. She brought all this love.
feeling. Don't tell me it's for no reason. And all this time we've been wasting. Now there be no hesitating. It's you and I catching feelings, and we're only here for a season. So let love be the reason. Yeah. You give me the vibe, you give me the feeling in the way, and how you mean it like I never ever known before. I'm giving it out for rhyme or reason, cause at the moment that we're meeting now, we're giving thanks and praise for you. Man, I can tell that it's a blessing in my heart. I am confessing all and everything I feel for you. Now there be no hesitating or time wasting, cause we got things to do. Hey!
Oh, this love that I'm feeling. Don't tell me it's for no reason. And all this time I've been wasting. Now there'll be no hesitating. It's you and I catching feelings, and we're only here for the season. Oh yeah, I'll be the reason. Yeah.
Yes, you are something beautiful.
Just, wow. A powerhouse.
Yeah, she's got a strong reputation.
And she absolutely triumphed over Coco Dubz from Wales, who did Moldavite.
I've chosen 4 stones I consider to be the cornerstones of spiritual alchemy: Moldavite, Phoenixite, Azeztulite, and Rose Sophia.
I'm using Moldavite angel chime to climb to the highest timeline. But I'm not chasing money no more, mate, nobody's buying my time. The powers to be, they're watching me, fam, they wanna silence my mind. But I'm not paranoid, so don't tell me I need to try and unwind. And all these toxic 5G frequencies, they're frying my mind. No joke on a cellular level, I feel my cells, they're dying inside. My heart has been through so much pain, I feel like crying sometimes. This matrix makes my blood boil, but I need to try and be kind. I'm working with Herkimer diamonds, the energy's bursting with vibrance. These magical crystals are healing all that pain that's hurting inside them. I'm slowly learning with guidance, I'm learning to work in alignment. I'm almost nearly enlightened, soon I'll swim and surf with Poseidon. But I'm not worshipping titans, those dirty vermin are tyrants. The powers to be, they're evil, they got demons lurking inside them. Swimming in silence, intestinal worms and a virus. I wanna decapitate them all, but it's not worth all the violence. I think I bought too much Moldavite. This stuff is powerful, it transformed me overnight. Wow, what the fuck is going on? Everything is going wrong, or maybe it's just going right. It's a full moon, I'm feeling cold tonight, but I'm a lone wolf, be aware my soul.
Leanne Louise's performance was just undeniable. Really strong, he wasn't messing around.
A decisive win there, though.
No, absolutely.
Yep.
So after those 2 clashes, the final score landed. England 3, Wales 1.
Right.
England took the win for that round, getting a solid lead in the group. Okay, and that score has some pretty direct implications for the Group C clash table, as you'd expect.
Lay it on us. What's the situation now?
So England sits on 3 points, Wales is on 1 point, and France, they're currently on 0 points.
Right.
This really changes the dynamic for the next round. For England to progress, they basically just need a draw against France. That's enough to see them through.
Okay, comfortable about.
Relatively, yeah. Wales, though, they've got a bit more pressure. They must get a win against France in round 3. That's the only way to guarantee they progress.
So it's must win for Wales.
Pretty much. Now, look, both teams are still, favorites to qualify ultimately, but England definitely has the edge right now.
That makes sense. And drilling down even further, what about the performers themselves, the Group C clash table for individuals?
Good question.
Leanne Louise, she must be sitting pretty, right?
She is. Leanne Louise is leading the pack with 2 points. That dominant performance really paid off for her individually. Then you've got Maddy V from England and Murkage from Wales. They each picked up 1 point from that opening draw.
Okay.
But Coco Dubz from Wales, and both the French performers, Indila and Ninho, they're all currently on 0 points.
Ooh, that's a tough spot.
It is. It's a real uphill climb for them now. Shows how much those individual wins and draws matter for the performer standings, not just the team total.
Definitely adds another layer to track. Okay, so that's the immediate fallout from the England-Wales clash, but you mentioned zooming out.
Right, it's important to see the bigger picture. This single group stage result doesn't tell the whole story, especially for Wales.
Oh, so?
Well, despite this result, Wales has actually had a really impressive run overall in the wider World Clash Cup and league structure.
Okay.
Get this, they secured 2nd place in the World Clash Cup. That's huge. They made it all the way to the final.
Wow, 2nd place. Who beat them in the final?
Great Britain and Ireland took the top spot. But Wales got there after this, like, exhilarating win against Ireland in the semifinals.
So a really strong cup run.
Absolutely. And on top of that, they also grabbed third place in the World Clash League. So, consistently performing at a very high level in both major competitions, it shows real depth and strength.
That's critical context, yeah. Puts the recent loss in perspective. Okay, so where does England fit into that bigger picture then? Wales is doing great, second and third.
Well, England finished fourth.
Fourth in both?
Yeah, fourth place in both the CUP and the league.
Okay.
And interestingly, their cup run ended with a pretty significant loss to Ireland. It was 5-3 in the third place Clashoff.
5-3 against Ireland.
Yeah. And the source material we looked at actually calls this the most significant result in Clash Cup in league history.
Whoa, okay. Most significant. That's a big claim. Why? What made that specific loss so impactful? It wasn't even the final.
That's a great question. And I think it boils down to a couple things. Firstly, the margin, 5-3.
Yeah.
It's quite decisive in these high-stakes clashes.
Not a close one.
Exactly. And it was for that third place spot against a major rival like Ireland. For England, who are always seen as, a top contender, kind of expected to be in the top 3.
Yeah.
Falling to fourth with that kind of scoreline against that opponent, it just, it really resonated. It became this benchmark moment, I suppose, an example of a major upset, the intensity of the rivalries.
So expectations played a big part.
Huge part. The expectations on England versus the decisive nature of the loss against a neighbor. It wasn't just about the final trophy. Every placement matters. And that particular clash just sort of embedded itself in the history books.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, so we've got the scores, the tables, the big historical clashes, England versus Wales, England versus Ireland. But this all leads back to that question, doesn't it? How did Welsh hip-hop even get to this point?
Exactly.
Competing at this level, making finals. What's the story behind these artists representing Wales? Because, let's be honest, Welsh hip-hop probably isn't the first genre that jumps into most people's minds.
No, it isn't. And that's precisely the journey we need to sort of unpack. Because historically, it's been, pretty tough for Welsh rappers to get noticed outside Wales.
Really? Why's that?
Well, a few reasons. The scene often felt a bit insular, maybe, plus the challenge of breaking into the bigger UK market, the London-centric scene. Sometimes language barriers, a smaller initial audience base. It wasn't an easy path.
Okay, so a challenging start, but obviously something changed. People started breaking through. Who were the early ones?
Well, even with those challenges, you had pioneers. One of the earliest and probably most widely known outside Wales initially was Goldie Lookin' Chain.
Ah, GLC, yes. I remember them. From Newport, right. Early noughties.
That's them. Came out swinging in the early 2000s. They were, a comedy hip-hop group, essentially.
Very much so.
Their whole goal, they said, was songs with incendiary beats, and this is the best bit.
Go on.
Flammable-looking tracky tops.
Yes, the trackies, they were legendary. But, despite the comedy angle, they actually charted nationally, didn't they?
They did. One of the very first Welsh comedy or not hip-hop groups to make a dent in the UK charts.
Do you think the humor was like a deliberate strategy to get noticed? Or just genuinely their style? In a scene struggling for attention, maybe making people laugh was a way in.
That's a really sharp point. I think it was both. It was definitely their natural style, very tongue-in-cheek, very Welsh in its own way.
Right.
But that humor absolutely became a strategic advantage. Whether they planned it that way or not, it was different. It cut through the often, serious, gritty hip-hop image.
Disarming, maybe?
Exactly. Disarming. It made people listen, maybe lowered the defenses of the gatekeepers. It proved there was an audience for Welsh voices. Even if it started with a laugh, it opened a door.
Okay, so GLC cracks the door open with humor. What else was happening early on? Any structures being built?
Yeah, beyond just the artists, you started seeing some infrastructure. There was a Cardiff-based hip-hop label called Associated Minds, founded around 2004.
Associated Minds, okay.
It was an early attempt to provide a platform, support artists within Wales. These kinds of efforts, even if they weren't making huge international waves immediately, they were crucial for building that foundation.
Right.
Creating an ecosystem.
Laying the groundwork.
Exactly. And then you started seeing these really significant individual milestones, moments that chipped away at those barriers we talked about.
Like what?
Well, in 2012, there was this bilingual rap artist, Mr. Formula.
Mr. Formula. Okay.
He did something huge. He became the first artist ever to rap in Welsh at the MOBO Awards.
Wow. At the MOBOs. That's massive. Remind us, the MOBOs are?
UK's biggest awards celebrating music of black origin.
Yeah.
So a really prestigious national platform.
So rapping in Welsh there, that wasn't just a personal win, was it? That sounds like a statement.
Oh, absolutely. It was huge for visibility. It showed that the Welsh language wasn't just for, folk music or poetry slams.
Yeah.
It could be current, it could be cool, it could hold its own on a major UK stage alongside English language artists.
A real moment for linguistic pride, too, I bet.
Definitely. A powerful statement.
Rapping in Welsh at the Mobos. Yeah, I can see how that would feel like a real turning point. Did it create a shift? Like, did people inside and outside Wales start seeing Welsh hip-hop differently after that?
I think it really did. Internally, within Wales, it must have been incredibly validating. It showed younger artists, maybe, that they could embrace their Welsh identity, their language, in this really contemporary art form.
Yeah, made it seem possible.
Right, that Welsh wasn't just historical. It could be part of something, edgy and modern. And externally, it forced a conversation.
Yeah, so.
It put Welsh rap, and specifically the Welsh language in rap, onto the national radar in a way that wasn't just about novelty. It was about legitimacy. This guy's talented. He's rapping in Welsh, and he's on the Mobo stage.
Right, takes away the, oh, that's quaint factor.
Exactly. It paved the way, really. Set the stage for this new wave that we've seen more recently in the 2020s, who are pushing those boundaries even further.
Okay, so Mr. Formula opens another door. Let's talk about this recent resurgence then, the 2020s. What's been happening?
Yeah, there's been a real burst of energy and, crucially, visibility. Loads of talent coming through. For instance, January 2022, a rapper called Lem Efreka.
Lemre.
He got announced for the lineup of In It Together. It's this big festival in Wales. People were calling it the Welsh Glastonbury.
Welsh Glastonbury. Okay, that's a statement in itself. Putting Welsh rap on that kind of stage.
Exactly. Shows the growing platform within Wales itself. Then just a few months later, May 2022, you had Dom James and Lloyd.
Okay.
Two artists, both rapping in Welsh and English, really proficiently bilingual. They release a track, Pwy Sin Gol.
Which means?
Who's calling? And this built on that bilingual tradition Mr. Formula helped establish. It showed it wasn't a one-off. It was becoming, a core part of the scene's identity.
The bilingualism is key then.
Increasingly so, yeah. But maybe the biggest recent impact comes from an artist called Sage Tods.
Sage Tods. Okay, tell me about him.
Real name, Toda Ogunbanwell.
Yep.
He emerged in the summer of 2022, comes from Penigros, up in Gwynedd, North Wales, and he also works bilingually.
Right.
He released what's believed to be the first ever bilingual drill track. It's called Round Around.
Round and Round. And drill, remind us, that's a specific subgenre.
Yeah, drill music. Came out of Chicago, then big in London. Known for its often quite dark, syncopated beats, raw lyrics. It's a very current, globally influenced sound.
And he did it bilingually, Welsh and English.
Yep. And Round Around got huge in Wales, really popular. It showed how these modern global sounds could be fused with that unique Welsh identity.
Taking a global trend and making it Welsh.
Precisely. But he didn't stop there. He released another single, OHYD.
OHYD, meaning?
Still. And this one was really clever. It sampled a super famous, iconic Welsh song by Dafydd Iwan called Yma o Hyd.
Yma o Hyd means still here, right? That's like the Welsh anthem of resilience.
Exactly. It's deeply embedded in Welsh culture and identity. So sampling that. Instant connection.
Wow, that's powerful.
And it gets better. The Football Association of Wales, the FAW, they actually played Sage Tods' OHYD during Wales's World Cup campaign in 2022.
No way, at the World Cup.
Yeah. It became this unofficial anthem for the team and the fans out in Qatar. Imagine that, a bilingual Welsh drill track echoing around World Cup stadiums.
That's incredible. From local scene to global sporting event via this fusion of tradition and modern rap.
It's a perfect example, isn't it? How fiercely embracing your local identity, your language, turning what some might see as limitations into strengths, how that can break through. National barriers, international events, it had a massive cultural impact.
Okay, so wrapping this all together, what does this journey from Goldie Lookin' Chains trackies to Sage Tods at the World Cup, what does this mean for you listening?
Well,
it's more than just scores, right? It's a story about how culture grows. You see this pattern. Maybe humor opens the door, then comes this defiant pride in language. And finally, this fusion of local roots with global sounds that just connects.
Yeah, it really highlights the power of language in music. how local scenes, even when they face uphill battles, can build something really vibrant.
And through that dedication, that innovation, they don't just get noticed, they actually start influencing the bigger picture, right? National conversations, even global events like the World Cup.
Absolutely.
It's a real testament, I think, to the unique identity, the perseverance of Welsh hip-hop. And maybe a reminder for all of us that, real cultural expression often hits hardest when it stays true to where it comes from.
Well said.
So what a ride today, seriously.
Right.
From the nail-biting clashes in the Euro Clash Cup, England versus Wales, to unpacking this incredible story of Welsh hip-hop, its history, that exciting resurgence we're seeing now. It really shows how deep cultural roots can lead to global recognition.
Yeah, and how competition can shine a light on these amazing artistic movements. And, listening to this whole story, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It raises this question for you, listening at home. What other vibrant local music scenes are out there right now, maybe just under the radar?
Good question.
Scenes that are on the cusp of breaking through, maybe redefining global sounds in their own way, just like Welsh hip-hop has shown it can do with such power and presence. It definitely encourages us all to, look beyond the usual playlist and see what else is bubbling up.
Food for thought indeed. Thanks for joining us.